After 2 years in online business, growth operating, and generating over $500,000, this is the number one thing I learned about business. And I realized that it's extremely important because most people think about business as getting leads, as like sales, and a lot of the stuff. And I'm not saying it's not important, but this is the one thing that really helped me a lot with like all the clients that I worked with. And I really want to share 4 lessons that I learned throughout the 2 years of online business and working with a ton of clients. And this is where the real money is made because I messed up so many times and I got fucked over by people a lot of times throughout my life and also business that led me to making this video and learning all these lessons. So let me break the 4 lessons down in this video today, and I hope this would help you with the clients that you work with and your life, and let's get straight into it. So the biggest lesson that I learned within online business is client relationships. And with growth operating, if you don't know what the business model is or you haven't heard about the business model, it's about you partnering up with a personal brand or a creator or face of the business, and you basically help them build a consulting business, coaching, or info product at the back end. And I've been doing this for like 2 years. So actually 2.5 years. So I learned a lot about client relationships, and this also helped me with networking with people and being friends with a lot of successful entrepreneurs and like great creators, personal brands. And this really helped me with my relationships in my life as well, like my friends, my parents, and stuff like that. So I want to share like 4 lessons that I learned throughout like working with a lot of clients, growth operating, and helping people to actually grow their businesses and like working with like creators and coaches and personal brands. So the first lesson I learned about client relationships and actually working with clients is actually setting clear expectations. And I learned this because when I was working with a few clients one to one, and like I would partner up with them with like consulting offers or like their coaching offers and stuff like that. Like with growth operating, you basically partner up with someone and like you get a revenue share, right? So you really have to set clear expectations because I didn't set clear expectations when I was working with the client. I wasn't selective with the clients that I was working with. I wasn't actually qualifying them or making sure that they are the best client or someone that would actually help me and will actually like align with my values and morals and be a very good client. So due to experience, I didn't understand how to actually like set clear expectations because I would get any client that I would get, right? And like you with starting an online business and stuff like that, like yes, you will work with like every single client at the start because like you really want to land clients and you would actually like need to make money, right? So as I learned more about business, like the onboarding process and setting clear expectations on the partnership itself is like extremely important, and I didn't even like know that from the start. So I would actually have clients who would not meet their deadlines, or like I would ask them, for example, to film like content, they would procrastinate on it, or I will get them to film like a VSL, for example, which is a video sales letter, and like they would take forever. Like they would not be like on the ball with actually making the content or filming the VSL or posting more posts and stuff like that. So you have to set clear expectations and you have to make sure that they are actually on the same page with you. And this actually helped me with communication skills and like communicating with your partner, business partner, um, very clearly, because you have to be transparent, you have to be honest, and you have to get them to do things without forcing it on them. And it's a skill in itself. So you actually have to understand how to bring the best work or like the best potential out of them, and you have to understand their personalities and how to get them to take action, because sometimes clients have egos, right? Like there are people that I've worked with before who had egos and like they didn't like really want to do this idea, or like they didn't want to like make this type of content and stuff like that, and you kind of have to go back and forth with them on like communications and getting them to do the work. So it's a hard skill in itself, and like this entire like client relationships and like communications and working with people is a very hard skill to learn, and you have to learn how to actually bring the best out of your clients and like actually get them to take action the way you want them to, but also compromise with them, right? And I also have a ton of friends who are growth operators, and they also have clients where clients would delay their work, or they wouldn't want to be pushed, or they would take their time on making modules, or they wouldn't hype up a community or like be a leader, right? So you have to set clear expectations from day one, and you have to let them know what they are going to expect out of the relationship or the partnership that you're going to work with. And this will set the relationship from the start. Because if you think about it this way, if you heard from the gurus and everyone that it's all your fault, like, and I'm not saying like it's not a bad thing or whatnot, like that it's your fault thing and everything is your fault is extremely true. And you have to take responsibility for not setting expectations from the start, right? So you definitely have to actually communicate with your partner from the start that they have to make content and they can't procrastinate, or like you will be blunt and you'll be honest with them from the start, and you will be transparent and call them out. And this is coming from a good place, and this is coming from we are in a partnership together, and you have to push them and they have to push you as well. It's not just about you telling them what to do and stuff like that. It's also about them telling you and calling you out on your bullshit, and you actually have to see it as like a two-way thing, right? So it's not that you're always right, so it's not that the client is always right too, right? So you have to be in that setting where you have to call them out on their bullshit, and they can do the same to you, and like you're gonna get a way better client relationship out of that. So the number one lesson is to set clear expectations. So lesson two is about actually caring about your client's success, right? So I see this with like a lot of people in the space, like they care about themselves, and like they just want to make the money for themselves, and they just tell like the client what to do, and like they push their clients and they just force them to do things and stuff like that without like actually understanding them or really like caring about their success, right? They just care about themselves. And this didn't really happen to me personally, because I'm the type of person that truly cares about people's success, and I truly care about my clients, and I will be blunt and I'll be honest because I really see the potential in them, and I really truly want them to like be successful. And it's not just about me making the money, because like if we are making money, I will make the money. I'm like the byproduct of it, right? But it's my responsibility as like a partner, as a coach, as a consultant, to actually be honest and transparent with my clients so that they can push themselves to succeed in the business, right? So I would call them out. I would actually like tell them like, hey, like you have a limiting belief. Or I would tell them that, hey, don't delay this. Like this is actually important. Like don't procrastinate on this, right? And they can do the same for me, right? It's not, I'm not always right. I'm not saying that I'm the best coach ever and like I'm always right. I have to tell them what to do, right? I'm not a boss, right? A leader actually helps their clients and their team members to grow, and they push them to succeed, right? So I'm just that type of person, and I truly care about the people around me. And in order for me to actually care about their success, I actually have to push them, and I actually have to be transparent with them. And communication is extremely important here. You can't be telling people what to do. Like you have to understand them their personalities, how they work and stuff like that, and you have to be like compromising about that, right? You have to be like understanding about that, right? But it's not that they're always right either. So it's about pushing them and actually caring about their success. So you have to understand how each of your clients work individually and like how they work and operate. And you need to learn how to bring out the best in someone, like based on how you communicate with them, right? So if I were to give you an example, I'm a Manchester United. So anyone in that's watching football, like if you support another team, like don't come after me, like they are winning right now, all right? As I'm making this video right now, Manchester United just beat Man City, like, so yeah, don't come after me, all right? So Sir Alex Ferguson, he's the number one British manager that ever led like Manchester United to their success. And if you were to like search up Sir Alex Ferguson, right, he was a manager, he won like 20 Premier League titles. And Stephen Bartlett, the Diary of a CEO, he actually talks about this and he talks about leadership, right? So he spoke to a bunch of Manchester United players, and all of them mentioned that Sir Alex Ferguson was successful not because of the strategies, not because of the tactics. He wouldn't even be in the dressing room or the locker room like 90% of the time, because he understood how to bring the best out of each player by knowing how to talk to each one of them. He knew how to bring the best out of them, like in their own individual ways. And he would understand like their families, what drives them, what their personalities are like, and he will be a father-son relationship with his players. And I truly learned that through my online business journey. And this helped me a lot because like I'm able to bring the best out of someone and like talk to certain clients in a way where I would bring the best out of them, right? So it's not about just having one like tone or like set of voice that you talk to, and you're not always gonna be blunt and honest with certain clients, right? I have a client right now and I'm in his house, so they're husband and wife. So like I would be blunt with my client who's like the guy, and I can be honest with him. He doesn't take it personally and he understands that I truly care about him. But for his wife, it's basically a different story where I would be more understanding and I will have a more empathetic approach, and I would get her to realize that she might be limiting her growth. She might be limiting her potential by thinking this way and stuff like that. So it's about going beyond like what your role is actually like and understanding your clients, right? And it applies to team members as well. And if it applies to the team that you're working with, right? So let's say you have a sales team and like you hop on one-to-one calls with like your sales reps and you actually push them, right? So like different people get fired up in a different way. You can be blunt and honest with like one of them, and you can be more understanding and empathetic with like another. It's not just these two examples, of course, but it's really understanding that you just don't care enough about your clients and you don't care enough about your team. You don't care enough about their success and like what pushes them to their maximum potential. So I learned this because like I'm just a caring person, and I know that I have to be that guy to understand their personalities, their families and stuff like that. And I learned this by actually understanding how to communicate with my team members, my clients, and like the people around me. And each person works differently, right? So you have to really understand this lesson that I'm telling you, because it applies to your team members. It's actually leadership. It's not you just being a boss and telling people what to do and they have to do it, right? It's about being a leader and bringing the best out of someone and helping them grow and helping them succeed, right? So that's lesson number 2. And this is one of the most important lessons that I learned. So coming to lesson number 3 is that you have to be kind, not nice. And I learned this from Leila Hormozi. So watch her videos. She is a very good leader and she has led like a ton of team members. She has different departments and stuff like that. You really have to watch her, right? Watch her videos and like actually like understand what I'm trying to tell you. Because I have clients that are procrastinating or they delay stuff or like they are not urgent, and sometimes you truly have to remind them and you have to push them to succeed because you're helping them build the business. And it's not about you working on the business all the time, it's their business as well. And they have to see that it's their business as well. You have to be kind, not nice, in a way where you have to push them. I have clients that are not urgent. Sometimes they just take a very long time to get a VSL to me or reply to me. And it's about being kind, not nice. And imagine you have a sales team and there's this one person in your sales team that's not closing as many deals. They are closing people with crazy guarantees or promises that you wouldn't want them to make. And you actually have to call them out on it. You have to learn how to not embarrass them, but also help them see why they shouldn't be doing that in the first place and why that's bringing the entire team down. And if you go easy on them, for example, if you just let the matter go or you don't call them out on it and you actually see that as fine, then the problem will keep repeating itself. And when you let the problem repeat itself, you're actually not helping your team. You're actually not helping the business at all. And you really have to be honest and you have to be caring about their success as well. And sometimes you might have to let them go because if your entire team is not doing well because of this rotten apple, then you definitely have to let them go and you have to tell them in a way where they can learn from the lesson and why you're letting them go. And if you go easy on them and if you just let them stay in the team, even though you gave multiple chances and you told them multiple times, you don't let them go or fire them, then you're doing a disservice to yourself, your client, and your business and your team members, right? So it's about being kind, not nice. And it's about being honest and calling them out on the problem. That's lesson number 3. So you have to be kind, not nice. You can't be nice all the time. You can't be liked all the time. And you can't be a people pleaser when you need to be a leader. And lesson number 4 is about not spoon feeding your clients with answers all the time. And it's about guiding them to the answers and coaching them. So coaching is not about just telling people what to do. It's not about spoon feeding answers and just giving them the answers to everything because you want your clients to learn. You want your clients to learn from the process and understand why they are doing a certain thing wrong or this will be limiting your growth. So it's not about telling people what to do. It's actually you helping them to find out the answers for themselves. It's about guiding. It's about helping them to understand what their true problem actually is. It's about helping them think in a way where they will be successful. Because if you keep spoon feeding and giving them answers, they're not going to think like an entrepreneur. They're not going to think better. They're not going to be better human beings. They're just going to be a follower. And you don't want your clients to be followers. I'm learning this as I'm consulting my clients and helping them in person. And I also learned this when I was coaching about 300 plus entrepreneurs within like a community. So if you're a coach and you want to be successful with your coaching business, you have to be a leader. You have to be someone that actually helps your clients to think in a certain worldview and manner. And you have to help your clients to think for themselves. It's about guiding them towards the right direction. It's not a transactional relationship. If you're anything like me, you don't want your relationships with clients or team members to be just transactional. You want to be a leader and you want a relationship with your clients that is on good terms and you're helping them to succeed as well. You're doing a disservice to them and you're ruining or hurting them even more by always giving them answers to them. Guide them towards the right direction where they would be working towards improving themselves and growing and succeeding. So if I was to sum it up entirely, it's about leadership, communication skills, and actually caring about your clients and caring about people. It's not just taking their money or getting them to pay you $2,000, $5,000, $10,000 just to get them to tell them things and not caring about their success and not actually helping them to get results. They are paying you so that you can help them to think, help them to grow and succeed and become a better person, a better entrepreneur, a better coach. So A lot of the things that I'm mentioning to you now, like I fucked up and I messed up so many times. And I learned this the hard way. So I really want to share some things with you that will help you to become a better leader, a better person, a better entrepreneur. And client relationships is one of the most important things that I learned in online business and in life. And it helped me so much with my relationship with my friends, my family members, my clients, and becoming a better leader, a better person, and being more empathetic, more caring about people. And yeah, this is a lesson that I want to help you understand today. And I hope these 4 lessons would truly help you with your life, your business. And I really hope you get something out of it. So if you want to connect, my IG is in the description and you can just like text me, DM me on Instagram, and I will obviously answer your questions. So look forward to the next video and I will see you in the next one.